Hi, it's Mary with another math moment. Today's letter is N, which stands for number sense, and we are going to take on that terrible F word, which is fractions. Fractions should be started at a very young age. Students should know that there is a whole and we're cutting parts of that whole. So if you're giving them a sandwich, you want to talk about this is half of the sandwich, this is a quarter of the sandwich, cutting them up into pieces that are different fractional amounts so they start to get that understanding of what a fraction is as a part of a whole. But I have a game here that is called Cookie Munch, which is a great one to show kids about fractions and starting to get them to understand equivalent fractions. But before we start, if you do not have pattern blocks at home, there is a website that has a template that you can print out and cut out if you want to. Or you can just take a strip of paper and fold it into strips and then cut them, like folded in half, and you have two halves folded into thirds, and you could cut those and you could have thirds. If you're going to make six, you'd have it folded into the thirds and then folded in half again, and then you have six parts, and then there's a fourth holding in half and then half again. So you can create all the fractional amounts by using just paper if you don't have pattern blocks. So in this game, we call it Cookie Munch because we want kids to think they're eating parts of cookies. But they're going to roll two dice. And remember, there's a random generator on the internet that you can use. But you can roll two dice. And whatever is the largest of the two dice is going to be your denominator. And the smaller one is going to be your numerator. So in this case, I've got 1/6. So I'm going to just take out one of my 6 pieces. And I'm going to keep rolling. I got 3/3. Which we can talk about that 3/3 is the same as 1 whole. So they can take out 3 of their third pieces or they can take out their 1 whole. And I'm going to take out my whole piece and set that aside. That's just a strategy that I'm using. In this case, I've got 4/6. Now I can take out the 4/6. And as kids get better at this, they might realize that 4/6 is the same. Oops, it's all twisting around. As 4/6 is the same as 2/3. So they can either take out the 4/6 or the 2/3. And I'm going to take out the 4/6. I'm kind of making a mess of this here. And set that aside. I'm going to keep rolling. I've got 4/6 again. And as we talked about, I realized that the 4/6 is the same as the 2/3. So I'm going to take out those 2/3. Now I'm going to keep rolling. Now this time I rolled 3/5. Now I don't have any fractional amounts that are in the fifths, so I have to roll that one again. And now I've got 1/2, and I can take out the 1/2, or I might realize that 1/2 is the same as 2/4. And in this case, I think I'm going to take out the 2/4. So as you can see, I'm going to keep going on rolling and taking out pieces, 2/3. So I do not have 2/3 to take out. And you can see that, let's see, I have, this is equivalent to 1/2 is equivalent to 3/3. And I have a 1/6, or 3/6, excuse me, and 1/6. And we knew that 4/6 was equal to 2/3. So that you might realize that that is the same amount as that. So I can take that out. So it gets kids thinking about how math works. Granted, I'm doing a more complex thought process. At the first time the kids go through, they're just going to be taking out the fractional amounts that they know about. But as they get better, they can start to look at those equivalent fractions and start removing those pieces. Fun game. It's great to do with kids and getting them really understanding fractions.